Nowadays, EA is one of the most hated companies, trying to milk players dry with endless microtransactions, turning full-priced games into glorified slot machines, and dropping low-effort sequels faster than fast food makes burgers. But once upon a time, the company was about making art and revolutionizing the medium. After all, Electronic Arts was created by a dreamer who actually loved games from all his heart.
We are an association of electronic artists who share a common goal. We want to fulfill the potential of personal computing. Can a computer make you cry? Right now, no one knows. This is partly because many would consider the very idea frivolous, but it's also because whoever successfully answers this question must first have answered several others. Why do we cry? Why do we laugh or love or smile? What are the touchstones of our emotions? Until now, the people who asked these questions tended not to be the same people who ran software companies. Instead, they were writers, filmmakers, painters, musicians. They were, in the traditional sense, artists. We're about to change that tradition. The name of our company is Electronic Arts. We are a new association of electronic artists, united by a common goal, to fulfill the enormous potential of the personal computer. In the short term, this means transcending its present use as a facilitator of unimaginative tasks and a medium for blasting aliens. In the long term, however, we can expect a great deal more. These are wondrous machines we've created, and in them can be seen a bit of their makers. It's as if we'd invested them with an image of our minds, and through them we're learning more and more about ourselves. We learn, for instance, that we are more entertained by the involvement of our imaginations than by passive viewing and listening. We learn that we are better taught by experience than by memorization. And we learn that the traditional distinctions, the ones that are made between art and entertainment and education, don't always apply. In short, we're finding that the computer can be more than just a processor of data. It's a communications medium, an interactive tool that can bring people's thoughts and feelings closer together, perhaps closer than ever before. And while 50 years from now its creation may seem no more important than the advent of motion pictures or television, there's a chance it'll mean something more. Something along the lines of a universal language of ideas and emotions. Something like a smile. The first publications of Electronic Arts are now available. We suspect you'll be hearing a lot about them. Some of them are games like you've never seen before, that get more out of your computer than any other games have. Others are harder to categorize, and we like that. Watch us. We're providing a special environment for talented, independent software artists. It's a supportive environment in which big ideas are given room to grow, and some of America's most respected software artists are beginning to take notice. We think our current work reflects this very special commitment. And though we are few in number today and apart from the mainstream mass software marketplace, we are confident that both time and vision are on our side. Join us. We see farther.
How did the company lose its way and become a crime syndicate with extra steps, promoting underage gambling and exploiting mentally unhealthy people? This is the story of the company's tragic transformation from real-life Walter White to Heisenberg. Before giving digital crack cocaine to minors earning more than $1 billion each year from the FIFA Ultimate Team loot boxes alone, and making the worldwide infamous drug lords like Pablo Escobar to look like amateurs. Before being voted the most hated company in America 2 years in a row, and becoming the final boss of corporate greed in the gaming industry, the company's founder, Trip Hawkins, was a passionate game developer. Even when his game massively flopped after borrowing $40,000 from his father, the 17-year-old did not give up on his dream. After graduating Harvard and working at Apple along with Steve Jobs, in 1982, he started the company, even naming it Electronic Arts, because treated video games as an art form and called the developers software artists. Early years, Electronic Arts was only publishing games and making software. They succeeded because Electronic Arts was thinking out of the box, and it helped cut out the middleman, had better market awareness than competitors, understanding what people really want, and treated developers very well, such as generously sharing profits, going out of the way to put a spotlight on digital's artists behind the magic and empowered independent creator great ideas. Only in 1987, they released their first internally developed game. In 1988, John Madden Football, making Trip Hawkins' dream true. All these 18 long years, he had continued to pursue his dream, even after the flopped paper and dice-based American football simulation game, and learning lessons from the big flop. He was so obsessed with a video game simulating a sport that said, "The real reason that I founded Electronic Arts was because I wanted to make computerized versions of games like Stratomatic. I think this shows his burning passion for game dev and being a dreamer." He reminds me of the nowadays very beloved Larian Studios founder and CEO Sven Vinke, and this mindset trickled down Those days, Electronic Arts feel like a scrappy underdog you want to root for. To pursue new dreams, such as making a game console, Trip Hawkins founded another company and in 1991 stepped down as EA's CEO and 1994 as a chairman. After the company's relatively humble beginnings, Larry Probst became the new CEO, and during his time, EA became a juggernaut. Especially in the mid-90s, they were well regarded, while also making much more money than everybody else in the industry. During this time, they released many other games, from which the most successful were sports simulations like FIFA, NBA Live. People were especially attracted by the idea of playing as their idols, to manifest their dreams on the screen, which was even more reinforced by the star marketing. Later, they built up on the formula with movie tie-ins like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, James Bond. Still, the cracks started to be more and more visible. EA made a pact with the devil by being the first publisher to release yearly updates of its numerous sports franchises, by only updating player rosters and having small graphical and gameplay tweaks. They set up a precedent in the industry, which others even nowadays are trying to copy. A money printing content farm who pumps out slop. The cracks became even more exposed when, after a competitor successfully grabbed away a market share from EA's dominant Madden NFL series in 2004, EA responded by making several large sports licensing deals, including an exclusive agreement with the NFL. Instead of truly improving games, EA even more embraced the dark side by leveraging exclusive licensing deals to cut out the competition. All because, similar to Gollum, over years EA got very dependent on the slop's success, being the main driver of EA's growth and profitability. This is the pillar, which makes EA the final boss. Millions of crackheads buying new releases year after year, despite the games being glorified team roster updates, and usually spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars each year on microtransactions. In 2006, EA showed that they still have the light side by recognizing the risk of franchise fatigue among consumers and concentrating more of its effort on creating new, original intellectual property, which eventually helped to start the golden age of Electronic Arts.